The Soden House was built in 1926 for John and Ruth Soden by Lloyd Wright Jr., who was the architect. In 2003, Dr. George Hodel's son, Steve Hodel, came out with a book stating that his father was the killer of the Black Dahlia, and that his father not only killed Elizabeth Short, but bisected her in the Soden house. We went into the house. I had one goal and one goal only, to see if we could get confirmation from Spirit that Steve Hodel was right and that George Hodel killed not only Elizabeth Short, but at least 35 other women. And we got that confirmation. But what happened after that was an experience none of us will ever forget.
Are they saying Schumacher?
Are you kidding me? You know who Schumacher is?
No idea.
The man who built the Los Feliz murder house. In that moment, there's a lot of shock happening. My first priority after leaving the Soden location was not to look at the Soden footage. It was to go back and re-examine the Los Feliz footage with a new eye. And shockingly, there were a lot of connections.
Kind of straddling two, feels like two worlds here. She just told me to talk about the doctor. She keeps saying, bring up the doctor.
G is for George. That doesn't make any sense.
She said to me that she's with Elizabeth.
Karen had a dream, seemingly from Elizabeth Short. She showed her what happened the night of her murder.
And I look up, and out of this light, George Hodel spins out of this alcove, and he looks at me with this demonic look, and he goes, "Let's go."
And that would lead us to our next location.
The connective tissue is Lloyd Wright Jr. The fact that he built Novarro, he built Soden, he built the Wayfarers Chapel, he had a hand in the Ennis House, and all of these places have these really weird and awful things that happen in there. I can't explain it, but when you have a centralized figure that's the hub of weird stuff that happens in different places, maybe that person needs a little more attention.
Are you seriously getting smashed, eh?
It's George.
As in?
Yes, our buddy, Mr.
Oh, for
Dr.
God's
Hodel.
sake.
Whoa, what just fucking happened? Stop.
Yes. Good, good.
It's just something my boy, it's alright. Hey. Yeah. Just let me sit up. Fuck.
No.
Shit. Dude. What the hell happened?
I don't know, you tell us. Scared the shit out of me. I was ready to call 911.
Why?
Because you just went flat out, down.
Oh, what are you doing?
Follow.
Yeah, it's all good.
More of
I'm alright.
channeling.
Yeah, it was channeling. She just stepped straight through me, man.
Yeah.
Did you not see? I couldn't blink, I couldn't nothing.
That was Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
feeling she was going to attack you, that shit. She really wanted, she wanted help, so she was going to reach out for him because you could see her. She tried to channel her and talk to her. She wanted to tell us something, that's why she did that.
Can you get a water, please?
I remember I was talking, I can't remember what I was saying.
I turned because you started to talk and I couldn't find you all of a sudden. And then I was like, what the
I was sitting next to you and I saw your feet sliding out. I just thought you were getting comfortable, and then
Dude.
I looked at you. You were flat against the wall. Your whole lower back was arching.
George? I don't mean to be cold, but let's keep that running because whatever just happened, we need to know what they're trying to say.
Yeah, let's go,
I
Cam.
rolled up and back in the head.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, just gave me a bit of a fright. It's okay.
Get me some water. Brandon went down and get me some.
Shit. What's saying thank you. I'm fine.
Contact.
That's called possession, to say all no. Sorry about it.
Demon. Is Elizabeth still here, Calvin?
Can't see her. I think she was being chased down. That's why I took off.
No, she's here.
Okay.
With me. Woman.
Here
Not
it
this
is.
man.
Who's the male? Identify yourself, please.
So? Mark? Who was saying Mark earlier?
I heard Mark.
Calvin was.
Short.
Please. Should I hold it?
Who's hurt?
Calvin? Try to say Calvin?
Who caused Calvin to go down like that? Who was that? Who's responsible for that?
Was it Elizabeth or was it someone else?
You're trying to tell us something?
Why is Elizabeth here?
Here she is. Did she say help again?
Yeah.
Can Calvin help you? She's still being held captive, or?
I think she has the ability to leave and go back.
He comes to get you.
She's tethered to him, but he allows her to go. That's my theory.
GK was stood right beside me and I was out.
Yeah.
Like talking, I don't know what I said then. Is it possible to read stuff that she's doing?
She's asking us for help. There's gotta be something in
But
there.
how can we help her? That's my biggest question. I'm here to help her.
Yeah.
I want to help her. I need to know
We
how to
can't
help
ignore
her.
the statement over and over and over again.
We don't know how to help her. Let her know that she has free will. If she's not tethered to him, she doesn't choose to be.
Somebody standing over there.
I just said it.
Elizabeth, is there a way that we can help you? She's in the background, so it's not
I
helping.
know. It's like she's been pushed back.
Is this George or is this somebody else? Clear. Say clear.
Did you say Richard?
Is George Hodel holding these women back now? Is that who arrived here?
We have the freedom to choose peace and to be free from this evil, Elizabeth. We don't have to be tied to him.
Who else is in this room with us?
Oh, hi. Hi.
Is there a portal in this house?
Door.
I heard, oh yeah.
I heard three.
Where is the portal at?
I heard three. Yeah.
Where did you, John?
I heard 3 and so did 2.
Maureen, you did too?
I did, yeah.
Portals?
2 portals.
Where are the portals at? Did you guys say that out loud?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing anything.
Please help us. Where are the portals at? Is there a portal in this room here?
It's out there. What is there? Under the
I
bed?
heard bed. I heard the bed. The
You
bed.
know, I get a really weird feeling under this bed.
That's what I said to
Like,
the so.
I feel like there's like a pentagram under it or something.
You know, we've talked about portals in the last Los Feliz, is it? I think. Yeah, we're talking about portals. Those portals were in the wall. And I've been looking all day. And then I just had this epiphany. What about the floor in the bedroom? Not the wall. Does that make sense to you? So instead of putting the portal in the wall, it's in the floor. So if you were to draw a...
Like a pentagram thing?
Yeah.
So everybody in here knows when I talked to CJ Sellers, our medium off-site, she said this room was bad, this bed was bad, and she didn't know why. So even a person who looked at this 3 weeks ago,
Yeah,
this
miles
was the
away.
one spot that she said to be
Underneath the
careful.
bed, there's like something.
We see that on camera downstairs, I think, didn't we?
And it's
Well,
interesting that the bed is stripped of everybody that's walked past the street.
Yeah.
Not to mention getting totally fucking taken over.
Okay.
Why don't you take 3 seconds and go get your setup, so.
I'm getting something.
All right, Joe.
All of a sudden, these 3 women stepped forward, and they said something to me about they helped lure people in. I feel like they helped, not
When
George.
you say they, who are you referring to?
These three women that just stepped forward, like three like younger, beautiful women. I feel like they helped lure women into whatever was going on here. They said "and men."
What was that, David? What was that, Joe? And name?
And men. Women and men, they like brought them in. They were like working like sirens, they feel like almost.
Are they sirens from Hodel?
What did he say?
Hodel. It said Hodel.
Why are Hodel slaves here?
They're not slaves on the other side. They were doing that when they were alive for people. Like bring like you three, like go get us a girl, or like go bring men home, like that. You know, I keep getting this image of George going somewhere or going to someone. I don't think they work for George. I really don't think that. I feel like they were part of a bigger ring of people, and they worked for like a bunch of people, or like an organization like the White Death or something, not for George.
When Joe spoke of three women, not victims, but recruiters, women who lured the unsuspecting to a house where power fed on secrecy. And it echoed something buried deep in Los Angeles history. Because this story, this darkness, is not new. This began all the way back in the 1930s, when Los Angeles really was not a city of dreams. It was a city of vice. Vice that protected, regulated, and quietly profited. They did not work alone. At the center of this world stood two women as the queens of LA's underworld. First, Ann Forrester, and following in her footsteps, and even more powerful, was Brenda Allen. They ran what was called the White Slave Ring, one of the most powerful prostitution networks in California history. And they operated with near impunity with over 100 women in their network. They did not work alone. They couldn't have, especially Brenda Allen. She was sustained by political protection, law enforcement cooperation, and powerful men in a carefully cultivated system of women who recruited other women, some by desperation, some by deception, and some by force. These women were not random, they were placed in clubs, placed in bars, especially at 5th and Main near the Cecil Hotel, and sometimes they were placed in houses that served as gateways. Joe described three women who led people inside, women who did not harm directly, but delivered them to those who would. And this was exactly how Brenda Allen's network functioned. Clients weren't just customers, they were commodities, and the women were currency. This system thrived because it was protected, most notably by the corruption within LAPD itself. Vice squads were bribed, raids were staged, and warnings were given in advance. Politicians were compromised, judges were pressured, files disappeared, and those who spoke out were silenced or destroyed. But one man followed the trail anyway, LAPD Vice Sergeant Charlie Stoker, who spent years investigating the web of connection that allowed this empire to exist. He exposed how crime, police, and politics were not merely connected, they were interdependent. He discovered how Brenda Allen's operation functioned less like a criminal ring and more like a corporation, with recruiters, enforcers, accountants, and protectors. He exposed how crime, police, and politics were not merely connected, they were interdependent. And who do you think was the go-to doctor for this ring? George Hodel, the head of LA County's Medical Sexually Transmitted Diseases. And this brings us back to the house. Joe did not say these women were innocent. He did not say they were purely evil. He said they worked for a powerful ring of people, a ring who controlled them, used them, and discarded them when they were no longer useful. Women like the three Joe saw were used to lure, to betray, to deliver others into harm. And perhaps they are still bound to that role. And that's why I asked Kelvin if Elizabeth Short was sincere in asking for our help. And if a house like this once stood at a crossroads of vice, secrecy, and exploitation, if its walls heard screams instead of whispers, the dead still may be trying to tell us who held those strings.
They just left. They literally just popped in, popped out. I don't feel them. It was like they just sucked the air out of the room, and now I don't feel them anymore.
And we have no idea why they came.
Nope.
Does anybody who's in here, can you explain the three women to us? Can you tell us why they were here? George.
They said George?
Yeah.
They said Hodel first, now George. What do they have to do with George? Did they help him find his victims in life?
Did I meet these women before?
Were these the women that attacked David down in the basement of the Soden house?
So do they know this house yet or no?
No.
No.
Okay. We're not telling them tonight at all.
I like
Not
to,
yet.
until they tell me they're done and they can't get any more. So you guys tell me when you want
Well,
to
I feel
know.
like for the ghost box sessions, it helps to at least know like what questions to
Hey George,
ask.
let's run it in silent mode for just a second. Oh, okay. Let's just pause it for 1 second. Karen, are you well enough to tell them, or you want me to tell them?
About.
Where we're at?
Yeah, I can tell them. I can do it.
Okay. We took a quick break before the reveal, and Joe ended up calling me into the living room for an on-the-fly interview.
It's very odd. The art in these houses, I feel like, is giving us clues. It's almost like Spirit's way of making sure that we know we're in the right spot because of the art. Which also brings me back to when I was at the Los Feliz house and I saw that clip of me talking about the paintings on the walls and the significant art. And I know it sounds stupid, but I feel like we know going forward we're in the right place because of the art. Like, not solely, but part of it.
No, absolutely, because the art is what ties all these people together.
Right.
They hid behind surrealist art.
Right. It's the surrealist art thing. It's just so... Because what are the odds that we come to this house and this is what's all around? They could have decorated this any way that they wanted to, but instead, you have a picture up here that looks like Man Ray with red lips. You have that wall of red lips over there.
That thing just, I can't even look at that.
I don't know,
It just creeps me out.
And there's something about, I don't know why, but the eyes of it, and there's a picture in the hallway down there that it's like the glasses and the eyes, it's the same thing, and it irks me. There's something about it. There's I don't know if it's Man Ray that I'm feeling like is the subject, and maybe that's why I feel so drawn to it, because we have to look deeper into him. I'm sure Karen has already.
Oh, yeah, big time.
But maybe just for me to know that that's where I'm supposed to, or as a validation for you, for Karen. But it's just all so weird.
And I guess I should tell you where we're at. The name of this house is the Samuel Novarro house. This house was built in 1928. It's finished around 1929, 1930 by Lloyd Wright Jr. That should sound very familiar to you because he also built Soden House. The reason this house is significant, we really didn't know the tie-ins when we started, and it sort of was happenstance, but Ramon Novarro was a silent films actor. In 1925, he played Ben-Hur in the original Ben-Hur, and he became extraordinarily famous overnight. And he was dubbed the next Rudolph Valentino. He was from Mexico, and he had a very large family, and he was extraordinarily Catholic. He was very, very religious. He was also very gay. It wasn't really an open secret that he was gay, but everybody started questioning why such a handsome man was unmarried. And in 1920s, 1930s, it was sort of a weird thing. So Ramon Novarro moved into this house around 1931, and he lived here for a number of years.
And just one other note, Karen,
yeah.
is that when he moved into the house, he renovated it with Lloyd Wright Jr. again.
Yes, that's correct. He did a number of renovations, the veranda that we've been sitting on. He extended the pool deck. His bedroom, not this master bedroom, but the bedroom used to be the room just inside the pool downstairs. The second living room, the lower living room, used to be Ramon Navarro's bedroom.
Where the red carpet is.
Yes, where the red carpet is. And I see Joe nodding.
Yeah.
Okay. When Ramon Novarro owned the house, he lived here for a number of years. He moved out again, and he moved into a house in Laurel Canyon. On October 30th of 1968, Ramon Novarro was brutally murdered in that house. He had been hiring male prostitutes through mutual friends and these two brothers named Paul and Tom Ferguson. And Paul was the older one, Tom was the younger one. Paul was the one who had apparently been prostituting himself for money because he couldn't get work as a painter. He was married. His wife had recently left him because he was very abusive. He wrote over 140 checks for male prostitutes through this massage company, so that's nearly one a day. So when Paul and Tom Ferguson went to the house, he allowed them in. They had drinks. They wanted cigarettes, so Ramon Novarro called his personal secretary and he delivered 2 different cartons of 2 different types of cigarettes for the young men. They played the piano. They discussed Ramon Novarro's pictures. They had no idea who he was. All they knew is that they were in this fancy house. This is when the things get sketchy, because when the brothers were arrested, they turned on each other, which is unsurprising. According to the known testimony, Paul went in the room, the older brother went in the room with Novarro. We don't know what happened in there. According to the younger brother, Tom, Paul had beaten Ramon quite severely. He was bleeding, and Tom picked him up off the bed and took him to the shower to clean up and make sure that it was okay before they left. When he brought him back out of the bathroom, he says his brother Paul went berserk and finished the job with a cane. That's one version of the story. According to Paul, the older brother, he wasn't gay, and Ramon made a pass at him, and he literally went berserk because it was just an innate reaction because he's Catholic as well, and he did not want to be hit on by a guy, which is complete and utter BS. That was his defense. Regardless, what happened was Ramon Novarro ended up dead on the floor. He was beaten severely. You guys were getting pains in your solar plexus. That's where a lot of his injuries were. Maureen, you got injuries in your groin area. He had bruises on his penis. These were directed hits. He also had a broken nose, fractures in his face, and fractures in the back of his skull. He was on the floor. The brothers picked him up, placed him on the bed, and they took a lamp cord and tied his ankles to his hands behind his back. They grabbed a pen and rolled his body and wrote the name Larry on the sheets underneath his body and left the pen there. They went out to the living room and there was a cardboard backing of a notepad, and it was laying there, and they wrote Larry, Larry, Larry on that. Larry's the one that set them up with Ramon Novarro, so they were trying to turn the tables on him. They trashed the house, they turned pictures over, they turned furniture over, they staged the crime scene. The younger brother grabbed an eyebrow pencil from the drawer, and on the mirror wrote, "Us girls are better than faggots," F-A-G-I-T-S. The younger brother went back into the bathroom, grabbed a condom, unwrapped it, and placed it between Ramon Novarro's fingers to try and make it look like it was female prostitutes that did the job rather than 2 males. They took Ramon Novarro's clothes from the closet to change because they were both a bloody mess. They changed their clothes and dumped their bloody clothes over the neighbor's fence. The secretary who brought the cigarettes found Ramon the next morning about 8:30. And the most unfortunate part of this entire story, besides the fact that he was brutally, horrifically murdered, was this man lived a life closeted and quiet, and he ended up outed as a homosexual male beaten to death by 2 male prostitutes. So I think you can imagine in death his spirit is probably pretty restless.
I think one thing that Karen forgot, there was one very important piece of evidence in his autopsy file.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that is that his tooth had been knocked out, and they found his tooth on the floor. The interesting thing about all of this is that when we were at the Los Feliz house, Joe picked up on a man who came through. He had a lot of guilt. He had been killed by 2 people, and the most significant thing was his tooth was missing, and it was on the ground.
He also just showed me a tooth. I keep feeling like either somebody lost a tooth, or that might have been like a crucial piece of evidence, but he keeps showing me this on the floor. I keep seeing this tooth.
The man he was talking to said that it was not a rage murder at all. This was a planned hit. So we have these 2 guys who murdered him who say it was a rage murder, and we know it wasn't because of what Joe said 2 years ago, before Ramon Novarro was even a blip on our radar, let alone the Soden house or anybody else. My question is, why was Ramon Novarro at the Los Feliz house, and what does he have to do with all this, and why was he truly murdered?
There's some more information about Ramon Novarro, and I'm not trying to desecrate anybody's soul, but these are facts that need to be given to you guys. When Ramon would go to the doctor for checkups or for whatever reason, his doctor testified in the court papers that he had whip marks all over him. The doctor never asked where they were from, if they were self-inflicted, in other words, self-flagellation to abolish sin, or if they were inflicted by another person for sexual pleasure. He did not know, he did not ask. When they did the crime scene search, the criminalist was searching the bathroom, and in one of the drawers he found a cat o' nine tails and also found some ropes and chains that were used for binding. So we really don't know what this guy was into. When I came into this house for the walkthrough, I walked into this room, and on the bookshelf over here is a photograph of 2 people in full rubber suits. There were other photos And the one that really flipped me out is no longer hanging in this house, and I want to know why, because it's the only photograph or painting.
Well, explain that. We came here to scout this house to see what we were going to need for shooting here. We went into that lower bedroom. We walked in there, and the first thing that we saw was a Man Ray photo.
It wasn't even just a Man Ray. It was the one called The Lovers. It was the lips hanging in the sky, the one that George Hodel used to mimic on Elizabeth Short when he cut her face. And it's the only photograph in this house that's been replaced by a painting. The only one.
Which room was that in?
The small little bedroom right downstairs by the living room, in front of the living room.
Okay.
If you walk in, it's on the left wall. Now it's this purple and blue and white painting. No, there was a Man Ray hanging there a couple weeks ago, and I want to know why it's been removed. I want to know where it went. Because that creeps me out even more than the fact that the Man Ray was hanging there to begin with.
I think my biggest questions right now, if we can figure some of this out, is we have Elizabeth Short coming to this house. We have Elizabeth Short at the Los Feliz house. We have George Hodel coming here. We have Ramon Novarro going to the Los Feliz house. And for all we know, the Spanish speaking that we got at the Soden house could have been Ramon Novarro. So when you say, why is Elizabeth Short here? Because they're all tied together. For whatever reason, when we go to our next location, they all come to see what we're going to reveal next. And we came here, and so far, whether it's because we're getting so close that all of the spirit on the other side gathered together to block, or this is the worst house that we've been to so far, and we don't know why.
Did we know anything else about this house in particular?
No, this house, as far as I can tell, I could not find any criminal activity associated with this house. The only thing that I found was it has had turned over
Quite a few.
probably about a dozen times in the last 10 years, which is unheard of. Nobody stays here.
So nobody wants to stay here.
Doesn't seem like it.
So why would they show us all sorts of things throughout the house and confuse the living daylights out of us?
Because something horrible happened. I'll tell you guys what the other medium CJ said, because you all hit on the same thing. This room, horrible.
Yeah.
This room was, she just said, whatever happens in this room, it's going to give you a hard time. The stairwell downstairs that leads to the garage, her guides would not allow her to go down and explore. She said, I can't even tell you what's there because I'm not allowed to go down, it's so bad. Same thing that Maureen got, but you saw a woman, she saw a little boy rattling at the gates trying to get out, and she felt like the boy had been murdered. She said the pool was a horrible area for her, and she felt like maybe something had happened to the boys. Now, I can't remember which one of you felt like
It was me.
children were being hurt out in the pool area. All you guys are hitting on the same thing. Something horrible happened in this house, but we don't have any record of it. Finally, this was kind of crazy to me. There was a dog outside of the gate trying to get in that had been murdered. And we had the dog at the Los Feliz house that jumped through the portal at the last second as Kelvin was closing the one portal.
I can hear a dog bark too. I didn't mention that. I don't know if people have dogs around here, but there's a dog that's just jumped through at the last second.
When I did all my research, I look at a number of different primary and secondary sources. This is, I go to university libraries, I go to the public library system, I go to newspapers.com, I go to Ancestry and run voter registrations, and there's very little to be found
on this house.
About this house.
Well, it's funny because the energy is the same way. They're not even saying much about this house.
And when you said that was funny because I thought, I ran into the same roadblock.
So here's what I think we should do next. I think that we should have George run one ghost box up here with just Steadicams. We'll go down into Ramon's original bedroom, which will also take us closer to the pool, so that maybe we can separate them, divide and conquer them as they were going to try and divide and conquer us. What do you guys think about that plan? Yeah. David, do you have any thoughts?
It just, Elizabeth coming in here was crazy.
Yeah.
That's all.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and the fact that the Mandel Ray was there. I mean, obviously the lady who lives here now is a painter, so that's probably why she replaced that. I'm just guessing.
She wanted her own paintings on camera.
Yeah.
I thought about that, but
That's a
But
bizarre
of all the ones to move,
I have something to say
Yeah.
about that. David, you told a story when you guys very first got here and I was doing the walkthrough with you, and you described that black mass painting in the stairwell.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, Maureen, Kelvin, would you care to tell David what your vision was of the black mass that lives and travels between these
oh my god, I
houses?
didn't even realize that. I saw it like that. I saw like a ball of black energy moving throughout this house.
yeah. So
Coming and going, hiding, sneaking in, sneaking out.
When you
it may be
described
the
it,
same thing that's in David's dream that is actually hanging on the wall in this house. the other question that I have is Lloyd Wright putting something into his homes and his buildings that is almost as if he's building them to be portals?
Yes.
The portals.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not only that, Lloyd Wright Jr. built churches. And the first thing that went through my mind is he desecrated every damn church that he built. So maybe part of our link is the land, maybe part of our link is Lloyd Wright Jr. I'm not
He's
really
dead,
sure.
right?
What was that?
Oh yeah.
You hear that? Bell noise?
I think I feel him
A bell noise?
as you're talking about him. I don't think he likes what you just said.
I'm sure he doesn't.
I'm telling you, he does not like what you're talking about.
Why? Because it's true?
I think so.
The other thing I was getting about this being a Lloyd Wright house is there's something specific about each location. They tied together energetically in some sort of grid.
I don't mean to cut you off, but who's Sam? That
Louis Samuel, who built the house.
He's the one who built the house. He physically built it? I'm looking.
Well, no,
He commissioned Lloyd Wright
He
Jr.
commissioned it, so it was named after him.
Right.
That's
The
probably
same
where you're
with
getting the
Novarro.
Sam from.
Yeah.
And that's why he kept telling me before I didn't mean to turn it into this. I didn't mean it for it to become this.
Exactly.
So she didn't know what Lloyd was going to do.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's cut for a minute. Let's plan on all of us heading downstairs into the living room.
David,
And
I
then
got that.
we will set this up here with George.
got that
We're
down
gonna
really
just
quick.
run a ghost box on its own with the static.
That was weird. That's when they were talking about the churches.
Yeah, when you said
You were
I
talking
think
about-
he desecrated churches.
There was a loud ass bell ring.
There was a chime.
He got it.
Check the tape because it was clear as a bell.
There was a chime somewhere.
I heard it clearly.
But I thought it was one of the cameras.
No, that was a bell. It was
That's
straight up bell.
I got the goosebumps. Is he desecrated every damn church? So, while the guys were setting up in the living room, Joe's guides led him to the hidden Man Ray print.
What is the Man Ray connection? I'm not.
The Man Ray connection is George Hodel. George
We found it.
George Hodel absolutely revered Man Ray. They were both followers of the Marquis de Sade. Absolutely enamored of the Marquis de Sade. They were both misogynists. They were both sadomasochists. They were both.
So, hang on a second. Does anybody know who the girl is in the picture?
No.
It's a random model, I guess.
It may be Juliet Man Ray, which was Man Ray's wife. She posed many, many, many of his photos, but she did not have long hair like that. She had very short hair.
That's shadow.
It may
Most of
also
it's shadow.
be an actress named Lee Miller, who also posed with a man named William Seabrook, who was very good friends with Man Ray. William Seabrook was a cannibal, was a sadomasochist. He strung women up in his barn for days, doing psychological studies. He tied them to his
Talked
banister.
about him.
To his banister in his house, and he made them eat off the floor. That's crazy. Out of all the photos in this house and the paintings in this house, that's the one.
I knew
they
I was
took.
gonna find that motherfucker.
Good job.
As if mocking the team's strength, Spirit immediately began shutting down our equipment.
Wow.
Your
What happened?
These both just died. They're disconnected from each other, but they both just died simultaneously.
Okay, alright, let's keep going. I think I just heard Beth again. Okay, who's here with us? We need help? Yeah. But we're looking for any spirit that can help us resolve some of the issues in here.
Your mouse, like, interference too. That's, yeah. You need something. Ooh.
We just made the EMF spike.
Who are you?
Two people just died.
Yeah. You saying I and we, but what's your name?
Did you hear a scream? What can you tell us about this house? Why is this house so negative?
Get out.
We're not going to get out until you tell us why this house is so negative. What brought in the negativity?
That's encouraged.
What did you think?
I thought I said encouraged.
Did someone open a portal here, or was this house built as a portal? Who opened the portal?
My guy just said something to me, is there like a different setting to put the box on? They said something about the setting is hard for him to come through. I don't know what that's about, but they said something about the setting of the box.
Whose iPad went out?
Actually, just died. Yeah, the other setting didn't even come on, and then the whole thing just.
My guys are trying to have them come through, right? And they don't want them to come through.
I know, but we have to be stronger.
But lately, I haven't.
But the whole point of having all of us in a room together is
guess-
we're stronger
Right.
and we can make this work.
We got another.
I got a
box.
Wonder
Maybe
Box.
we just switch to the other box.
You go get a new Geo box and I'll bring over the Wonder Box.
I actually think it's the whole fucking house, not just one little sequence. The arrows, everything pointing in directions, the whole place is just a labyrinth of confusion to confuse.
So we're going to try what we had to use at the Soden house, which is the portal, and the Wonder Box is a new Wonder Box. And the great thing about the portal is that anything that's coming through this is in reverse. So anything that we hear clearly as a voice is spirit. Who's here with us? Can you use this app?
Because he's here.
Oh, sorry.
God, I thought I heard his Lisa here.
Yeah, I heard Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa's talking to you.
I'm right here. How can we help you?
Who's the smart dude was upstairs with me and David about an hour ago?
Hodel.
Hodel?
Clear as day.
Clear as day. Let's go down.
Why is George Hodel here? You do know.
That's Hodel's voice from
Yeah.
before.
Why are you here? We had just seen Steve Hodel to review the Soden evidence, and he had just finished his third installment of Black Dahlia Avenger, Murder as a Fine Art. Now, here we are in a house with more art connections, and apparently George Hodel.
George, are you keeping Elizabeth from talking to us? She's come to Kelvin. I'm pretty powerful tonight. Do you remember me from the Soden house?
I'm trying to tell Hodel to leave.
George Hodel, this is not your home. You're not welcome here. Get out. You will. Leave right now. Let these victims talk to us. Are there any victims here that can speak? I heard here. Who's here?
Just said your name.
What do you want? What about Jesus? You guys hear Jesus?
Yeah.
Ooh. What are you talking about?
Child.
Where's the child at?
Down here?
Not here.
Where's the child at? How many children has your group killed? No idea. That many? I am right? Did I just hear that?
I am something. Whoa.
Is Lloyd right or Frank Lloyd right here?
I heard I've been here the whole time, Lisa.
What did you do to these homes when you built them? Lloyd, what did you do to the homes? You made them bad. How did you make them bad? What did you do to these homes?
I heard altar too.
So where's the altar? Where's the altar in this house?
You're a devil. Answer Joe's question.
Where's the, if you put an altar in every house, Where is the altar in this house?
Did you sacrifice children?
Did someone do something to the ground around this house or under this house? Like with blood or something? Yeah.
Can you guys respond a little more clearly and a little slower?
Got so much going on.
There's a girl.
Her girl here.
They're doing a lot of talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, it sounds like
There's a
dinner
lot.
fight.
I feel like a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
All right, I'm gonna pause this one. Hey George, let's power up that, huh?
They just don't want to play pool, eh?
Really?
I just think there's too many of them. Or too many different things going on.
They don't want to talk.
They're almost arguing amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Like who's
Yeah.
gonna say what? Who's
Yeah,
gonna...
well, the one, I think the lighter energy is saying to George and them, listen, back off. You can't come in here.
Right.
Because I'm hearing this dialect behind them.
I could hear a positive voice in there.
Yeah.
Did it sound kind of like an old-timey voice on
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
Stewart?
Yeah, I heard that, and he was like, "You can't come in here, sir."
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I was just like, and then it's almost comical about George. He's like, "Oh, you coming over here?"
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
And they're like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like it's
Yeah.
weird.
You're welcome. Lloyd, is Lloyd right here? Tell us what you did to these homes. At the Soden house from the ghost boxes, we heard a lot about fish and fishing.
Down by the fishing pool?
Karen had a theory about George and fishing, and she asked Steve Hodel about it.
In the transcripts, he mentions going fishing in Mexico.
He did a lot.
Yeah. Well, did he?
Yeah.
Did he really? Because to me, it's a metaphor to find women.
The problem is that where he went,
There's no fishing hole. I did it on a map.
That's the problem.
I looked on a
There's
map.
no
There's no
water
water.
where he went.
Well, I know he went to Mexico, and I know he did a lot of fishing.
Okay.
Exactly
There was
where they
something he
were
was
for-
talking about, a place with 12 rooms, and it'll be perfect, and we'll get the women with the dancers, and we'll teach them how to sing and all this crap. And then he talks about going to Mexico and going fishing. And to me, it was a metaphor for finding young girls to prostitute while he was down there.
Well, he talks about opening a sanatorium for abortions.
Right.
And he was talking about some doctors that they were
Right. That they were working
trying to
down
get
there.
on board.
Right.
What about a hotel? That sounded like Ramon Novarro.
It sounded like he said spirit. We have spirit.
We have spirit. It sounded like Ramon Novarro. Yeah. Ramon, are you here to help us? What happened here in your house?
No, it's not.
Death, demon.
That's what he
Death,
said.
demon. What happened in this house? Death, demon.
Havoc. Binding.
What caused it?
Ramon, what can you tell us that'll help our investigation? Ask about Tom and Paul. Ramon, can you tell us anything about Tom or Paul?
Hey.
What did he say?
They're still there. They are alive?
Paul is Thomas.
Why, Ramon, what was the motive for your murder? What was the true motive? A friend? Is White Death connected to your death?
I want to know, Ramon, why Tom and Paul were sent to your house.
What did he say?
Turn him in. Why?
Ramon, I know your death was not about rage. What happened?
Poison. Who was poisoned? Kid.
What kid? Whose child was poisoned? Are you not allowed to say? Like, is something preventing you from saying?
Are you like scared to tell us?
Ramon, at Los Feliz, you said you had regrets. What were your regrets? What did you feel guilty about?
The boy.
I heard the boy.
The boy. Where's the boy coming from?
Ramon, did you like have relations with a sexual relationship with a young child, like a boy?
Maybe you could come clean. Feel better about it. You ever get a chance to talk to anybody about your secrets and your guilt?
I've heard Beth and Soden. Soden. Again.
That's what it's like all day for me, just like that, all over the place.
What is the connection between the Soden house and this house?
Is that the little boy?
Oh, you're right. I did just hear little boy.
What's the boy's name?
Sorry.
What's the boy's name?
There's a little boy here. Can you go play with that bear? They brought that for you.
Can I move it?
Huh?
My guy told me to move it. They said I keep seeing adults standing around the bear.
Move it where?
Anywhere that's.
Steve?
I feel like it has to be like.
In here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like he won't be near.
Can I just hear the name Joey or Joe?
Probably me getting in trouble. I feel like Hodel is like around it.
Can you touch the bear for us?
Bring the child. Let him play with it. We're not. Ready. Why not? It's just a simple.
How could one child be the identity of this child be so detrimental to all of you? Who is this?
Alan? Alan? Alan, hey there.
All right, so
you heard it. That's what it said. You said you heard it. You have to.
Who's still alive that could help us with this?
Steve. I heard Steve. No, he's still alive. Steve Hodel.
Did you guys hear the bear?
I heard that.
Thursday.
All right, what about Ramon? Can we talk?
Sorry.
No, go.
Why are you talking about Ramon? Is he here or is he not here?
Sean. Ramon, can you help us or can you not help us? You've been watching us for 2 years. Can you help us, please?
Ramon, what can you talk about? Did he say Morocco?
They sound like that.
What can you tell us?
Alright, so stop it. The responses coming through on the ghost boxes were deeply disturbing. References to boys, fear, silence, and violence. And within that, a story was unfolding that we didn't recognize at the time. In the early 1920s, director Rex Ingram transformed Jose Ramon Samaniego into Ramon Novarro, shaping both his name and his destiny as a star. Ramon was with Ingram in North Africa during the filming of The Arab, and it was then that Ingram and his wife, Alice Terry, brought back an 8-year-old boy, Kata Ab El Kadir. They said it was an adoption, and photographs show a very small child seated on Ingram's lap. Yet later, the Ingrams sent the boy back to North Africa, claiming he was actually a teenager who was unruly, drinking, and engaging in adult behavior. By 1924, Ingram established a private production facility in Nice. It was soon surrounded by whispers and speculation. And then something changed. In 1931, Ramon severed ties with the mentor who had created him, retreating into this house and working with Lloyd Wright to make it his sanctuary. What would cause a star to walk away from such power and influence? Ramon Novarro came to this house seeking sanctuary, yet Lloyd Wright's design unfolds like a labyrinth. Corridors, courtyards, and hidden thresholds guiding the living inward. And like the myth of the Minotaur's maze, labyrinths are not built for escape, but containment. We left the Novarro house pretty dejected, feel like we didn't have any answers. Spirit won that round. However, when we started doing the research, Karen found an article from 2004 called The Girls Next Door. And within that article, they found one of the victims, who's now a grown woman, who was 4 to 6 years old at the time that she was a trafficked child. And one of the stories that she told was how they were kept in a basement in a very affluent neighborhood, and they were made so pliable that they were able to go to the stores by themselves to get candy, knowing that they would come back, knowing that anything that they did seemed totally normal outside of this house that would never cause suspicion. But they were kept in a basement, and they would do anything that they could to escape their situation, drawing on the walls.
Looking for a symbol of some sort. That's why I was looking at the floor and
The one woman, who was a little girl at the time, said, if you were brought upstairs and given a bath and put in a yellow dress, that meant you were going to Disneyland. And sadly, Disneyland wasn't what we all think of it as the happiest place on earth. Disneyland meant that they were going to be sexually abused by an adult. And they would get to the front entrance of the park. They would point out a man off in the distance and say, go grab his hand and say, Daddy, I've been looking for you all day. That was the most heartbreaking thing to me on the planet, is to think of this child who gets all dressed up in a yellow dress and taken to Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, only to be fucking trafficked. Only to be trafficked. Some of these girls were sold, some of them were just used by the hour.
What's Walt Disney got to do with all this stuff? From people coming and going from here, let's go and have the experience and then walk away. There seems to be a raft of children coming and going. I was talking about kids before and stuff like that. It feels like they've been here and then gone, and I can't understand that. I don't know why.
Suddenly what Kelvin was getting about the children coming and going, Disney connection, made sense. So then we had to ask ourselves, was this a stash house? Was this where children and women were trafficked out of this house? They call them stash houses. There's hundreds of them all over the country. Many of them in Los Angeles, many of them in affluent neighborhoods. And then we had to ask ourselves, the Enriquez family held on to that house for so many years. The neighbors suspected drug trafficking.
There would be frequent cars coming up in the middle of the night and leaving in the middle of the night. Most people that have normal visitors, their visitors come and go at more regular hours. And because these visitors that would come up would drive up, be here for a very short period of time and leave, was the reason that my mother had originally considered there was a drug issue. And Rudy assured me that it was just feeding the cat.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Were they trafficking children out of that house?
I still have children running around though, so that's been here at some point.
I do pick up on a little girl. I do feel she's about 8 years oldish. And there's a number of kids. Like, I am sensing only girls.
I'm not too sure. I see a little girl. She keeps showing me pink. I keep hearing the music boxes. I don't know if she passed in this house.
This girl keeps seemingly following me around. I don't know who she is. She won't show me everything. She's only giving me little pieces, and she's almost hiding from everybody. And she's like, oh, I'm here. But then she disappears on me.
Younger people, their innocence away. I really genuinely feel that it still goes on here. I don't feel like this is done.
All of that led me to a lot of questions. Why do we keep getting the same thing to every location that we go to? Is spirit following us? Did this happen in every single house? And that's the reason that I wanted to go back to the Los Feliz house.
But this is typical from my experience that there's something here.
Yeah, what do you mean by something?
Death.